And many times when we go out, and the children, mashallah, they're masoom. And that reminds me that once I had gone to meet a very big businessman, a top businessman in Bombay, very big businessman. And when I met him, I had my son with me. That time he was in the second standard. And the businessman was smoking. So my son said, "Uncle, smoking is haram." Finish. I would think 10 times. Dua madai. To say directly, we have to see for the situation, and we see whether what is the right time, they should not feel hurt, etc. We'll think 10 times how to say, when to say, what to say. And the young child said, and the person put off his cigarette immediately. Easy. So mashallah, we should see to it that we should have a vision of how do we want our children and what they should become. We have a concept that on average when we have 4 divisions, if 100 students pass out in a year from one school, 50% may go in the mainstream, may become doctors, engineers, lawyers. But when they become doctors, they'll be true Muslim doctors, having knowledge of Islam. True Muslim engineers, true Muslim businessmen. 50% may go in the Islamic field, may become Da'i, Muhaddis, Mufassir, may take up teaching, Islamic teaching, alhamdulillah. So in this way, can we change the next generation? We can't keep on cribbing about what's happening. We should make a beginning. And in this way, mashallah, the main success that I feel of the school is that our interviews are very strict. The interviews we conduct are so strict that the rules that we started, the rules are unheard of. We broke most of the conventional pattern. Normally, for the students, they have got 3 interviews, the child. And even the parents are interviewed, the father and the mother. They have to undergo 2 interviews of average of 1.5 hours each. And the final interview is taken by me. And alhamdulillah, in the second year, we had 800 applications. 75 seats, 800 applications. So most of the years, we have 10 times more number of applications than the number of seats. And let me tell you, our school is one of the most expensive schools in Bombay. The fees is, we had 25,000 rupees a month, which is very expensive. Average fees in Bombay is 100, 150 rupees. The good convent schools, they charge 1,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees. Ours is 25,000 rupees, that is 600 in US dollars. Though now there are other schools which are much expensive. But Islamic school, mashallah, so not that it is cheap. But yet, no poor person can say that I did not get admission because I did not have money. We have 25% scholarship quota. The 25% of the seats, even if the person does not pay a single rupee a month, he can get admission. So 25% of the seats have been reserved for poor children. So in our school, we have, mashallah, parents who are earning more than 1 crore rupee a month. They may be millionaires there are. They may be earning £1 million they earn. There are some students whose parents earn 3,000 rupees. But when we give scholarship, we transfer that amount of fees into the current account. So when they get the money, they come and pay full fees to the cashier. So even the cashier does not know who's the scholarship child. It's only the management, me, my wife who's the principal, and a few others who know who are scholarship children. So even the teachers don't know who's the scholarship child. So we maintain that secrecy. So we transfer the money in the account, they come and pay full fees. So even the cashier does not know. So that we have a proper system and equality while teaching. When we have the formal education, mathematics, history, science, geography, we see to it that in this, when we teach, we incorporate 25% Islam in it. For example, when we teach science, we talk about the Big Bang theory, that a few decades earlier, the scientists have discovered how did our universe come into existence. First, there was a primary nebula, then there was a secondary separation, which gave rise to galaxies, the stars, the planets, and the earth on which we live. Then we say, this is mentioned in the Qur'an, 1400 years ago, in Surah Anbiya, chapter number 21, verse number 30. Avalam yara lazina kafaru. Do not the unbelievers see, anna samawati wal arda, kanat ratkan ftaknahuma, that the heavens and the earth were joined together and we closed them asunder. Now this, what the scientists have discovered recently, the Qur'an mentions 1400 years ago about the Big Bang. So in this way, the child comes closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the same time he's being educated about science. We tell them that the first person who described the blood circulation, it was Ibn Nafis. Later on, William Harvey made it famous to the Western world. We even teach them Darwin's theory. Unlike the other schools, I realize that in some Western countries, a child goes to the normal convent school, government school. In the evening, he goes to evening madrasas. So in the morning, he's taught that the human beings have been created from monkey, and in the evening, he's told that the first man is Adam alayhi salam. In the morning, he's taught that riba is very good. Interest, you can become a great businessman, wealthy person. In the evening, he's taught riba, interest is haram. So there's dichotomy. There'll be confusion in the mind of the children. That does not mean don't send your children to madrasas. Madrasas are doing good work, alhamdulillah. They should continue. Better send them than don't send. Don't get me wrong. The madrasas are very good, mashallah. I'm for it. I'm not against it. But we have to keep on improving the standards. So whatever they're doing, mashallah, they're doing a good work. When I go to madrasas, I tell them that you incorporate English there. You incorporate the formal subjects. So when there is a different teaching in the morning and the evening, the child is confused. So when we teach science, we see to it that we incorporate and tell them even Quranic verses related to that. Quran speaks about water cycle, about geography, salt and sweet water. Quran speaks about geology, that mountains have got roots, and many things which is not mentioned in the textbook. The teachers, they are trained. They're trained how to teach. And in this way, out of the normal formal education, 25% Islam is even incorporated when we teach them mathematics, science, history, geography, etc. We have taken the normal syllabus, IGCSE, following that syllabus and even incorporating the Islamic studies, both in Arabic and English. So that when the child appears, he appears for the normal examination. That is the central board examination. After he passes that, he can take up medicine, take up engineering, or become a lawyer, or a business.